Hey, what's up guys? Sir Emanon here, back with another episode of Road to 1000 DuelingBook rating. I apologize that I haven't been posting in quite a while, and that is because, again, school has been, uh, a bit of a toll on my schedule, if you will. But here we are, still trying to post content. I will hopefully be able to get you guys more content this upcoming week. And definitely I will be getting you guys more content next week because that's my spring break. So definitely looking forward to that from a content creation perspective. But anyways, here we are back on Lunalight Time Thief. And we're going to be up against Orcust today. This isn't like a particularly eventful series of games. There's still a lot to learn from it, but I figured I would just kind of ease my way back into it, if you will. And these games that I'm going to be uploading in the next couple weeks or so are all like sort of backed up. So the meta has actually changed considerably since I last recorded and uploaded on this series. So this game I think was from around 3 weeks ago, which is quite a large gap as far as meta trends can go, because obviously this game can change on a dime and it can change very, very quickly. But even still, I think the fundamentals of the deck's mechanics as well as how it interacts with other decks can still be relevant even after maybe some changes in the metagame have transpired. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. And also, actually, I want to say something really quickly. If you are watching this and have not seen the release of, not release, but some reveals of Duel Overload, I would definitely recommend you guys check that out. It's on Konami's YouTube page. I know it was supposed to be a couple days from now with EU content creators for some reason, but anyways, there's a lot of really good stuff for Lunalights in there, which I'll probably talk about later on. But anyways, enough of me rambling. Let's go ahead and get into the gameplay here. So we're up first, and our hand is pretty good because we have the full combo and some dangers to go with it. And I believe this is around the time where I actually experimented with cutting like Winder down and cutting down on retrograde as well, and just like I think I only played like one retrograde, I think, and like maybe zero Winder. There was a time where I definitely played zero Winder. This might have been one of those lists, but there was a time where I definitely felt the Time Thief cards clogged, and I actually still feel that way. I'm actually currently in my most recent build and I'm not playing Time Thief cards altogether. I will be posting an updated list as soon as I actually get some in-person testing with it. But yeah, just a heads up that Time Thief cards are, in my opinion, kind of problematic, and I will talk about that in a later video as well. But here we're just doing Chick Tiger stuff. So scaling the Tiger, bringing back the Martin, obviously after you're sending it with Chick. Gonna go ahead and add the Zephyros, which will allow us to trigger off our dangers. My opponent, I think, was AFK for a portion of this, so I have to flip a coin because it makes a loud noise, so that oftentimes if your opponent doesn't respond, they actually do respond to that because it's really, really loud for some reason. But anyways, he hits the Mothman, and I decide not to use the effect. I tell him, he assumes I'm going to use it, but I have to tell him in chat that I'm not using it. Just because I don't want my opponent to get graveyard set up when I'm already completely set up, because yeah, there's not really much point, because I can go Curious here, and like here I'm assuming that there's just not going to be any hand trap. So yeah, oh yeah, so I am still playing the counter trap, but I definitely think I cut Winder from this build. I changed the build a lot, so it's hard for me to remember exactly what changes I made and at which times I did, but kind of now looking at how I'm playing this game out, I don't think that I really was playing Winder or Bezel Ship for that matter. But anyways, I'm going into Lambda here, and this is one of the changes I am making in like more modern builds, is that I'm just like not even focusing on the Lambda Gamma package in general, because if it leaves you super susceptible to Nibiru, and also I just feel like you get a lot of value anyway by doing like the standard Appaloosa stuff regardless, so I just feel like the interaction's not really necessary. But yeah, we're gonna proc Redoer, and I believe I already used both Martin and Emerald Bird, which is why I didn't trigger either of them. Or actually no, I triggered Emerald Bird in the combo, and I used Serenade Dance already, so there's no search target for Martin. But yeah, here I haven't used Zephyros yet, so I'm going to use Zephyros, and I go into Tornado Dragon if I remember correctly, or yeah, I go into Tornado Dragon to pop my Tiger because I have two of them. And I make an interesting decision here, which I believe I go for IP instead of the Perpetua. Just because my thought process, I think, was that I wanted to use Gamda and Driver to go into Appaloosa, which I guess I deemed more valuable than the Perpetual Interruption, which again is kind of like debatable. But yeah, if I like didn't have to use this extra Chin Ender Dragon, then we would have been in business, obviously. But anyways, oh yeah, I guess that's another thing is that I think I was only playing 1-1. Yeah, now I remember. I was only playing 1-1 of the traps, so Perpetua didn't actually have a trap to equip from deck. I think that's what happened there. Either that, or I was playing 2 of the counter trap, and Flyback would have just attached the other one, so there was no need for Perpetua. That might have been the other thing as well. So I guess I'll find out. I haven't watched this game in a while, so I'm just going off of like my very, very distant memory here. So we have a fair amount of disruptions, not like the best board, but he decides to scoop it up. Okay, so we don't actually get to see the outcome of that, but either way, if it was because of Flyback attaching the second retrograde or me just not having targets, that would be justifiable enough to not put the Perpetua on the board anyway. So we are going to go ahead and go into game 2 here, and this is going to be a great example of how to throw a game that was won, because I remember losing this game, even though it should have been unlosable, because it goes into sets 2 and passes. So yeah, I blindsided in evenly just because I don't know what I'm playing against. He didn't show me any cards. So yeah, I could have like easily just gone evenly to like get the 1-for-1. Especially because like I don't think I was able to OTK anyway. So yeah, he Call by the Graves when uses Call by the Grave when I use Tiger on the Martin, so that turns off a significant portion of my play. Kind of have to pivot from here. I set the retrograde in case I'm able to stick a redoer on the field, so I can just have an interruption later. And it hits my evenly, which at this point is fine because it's dead. And I go into Lambda, so I can bring back the chick with the perfume, so I can at least get some form of disruption on board here. So yeah, Perfume will grab me another Tiger, which will allow me to get access to that rank 4. So yeah, again, not really something that I could have, turned into an OTK, especially with Call by the Grave. So yeah, there was not really a way for me to like really go into 4 Strix and like have a way to still pitch Zephyros, because I needed to use the Perfume already to get the rank 4 in the first place. So I wouldn't have been able to use like 4 Strix and then grab like a Zephyros and then pitch it off the Perfume, because Perfume was required to get here anyway. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use Redoer to attack, and here's where I find out what he's playing. He's playing Orcust. So obviously if I had known that, probably would have just made Dweller, but it's still fine because I have interruptions that should carry me through the rest of this game given how weak his hand is. But you'll see how I actually managed to throw this one away. So yeah, he has Orchestra, sorry, not Crescendo, but Return, which is a very, very strong top deck for him. It gets his engine online, and like because he has a normal summon, he can pretty much just do whatever he wants to. So yeah, I go ahead and just negate the draw 2. And he goes ahead and he uses a symbol. And here I elect not to use Gamma. And I kind of see why, because like my thought process was, oh, he's just going to use Nightmare anyway if I Gamma, and then he gets like to Galatea regardless. But obviously the play that he's going to do is go Galatea and then attack into Lambda, thus rendering me not able to use Gamma whatsoever. So definitely a misstep on my part, because if I actually did Gamma the symbol there, he would still be able to do like a lot of this stuff, but he would be able to get this far. So he would have the Silent Boots, and he would have resolved Wand to get back the Nightmare, but he wouldn't have been able to push past that. Whereas here, he's able to not only get his Galatea online, but he's also able to get Symbol on board, which is critical for him, because he's gonna get the Babel, but also he gets Dingirsu to send a Tiger away, I believe. And I chain Redoer just in case he wants to send it, but he's gonna send Tiger. And then he's gonna be able to go in link off into either IP or yeah, he's gonna go Galatea, but he has the symbol left in Grave because he attached it off Ding. So yeah, he's just gonna be able to set up this rank up play. And had I done had I used the Gamma on the symbol, he would have had just the boots plus the Orcust Nightmare. So that means that like he would have been able to make it to Ding, but he wouldn't have been able to actually push past it, unless if he played a Shea Brigandine, which I'm actually not sure if he did or not. But he doesn't opt to use Silent Boots Engraved, so that kind of signals to me that the only target he has is the rank up spell. So assuming he doesn't play the Shea Brigandine, that means that like his board at best would have just been Dingirsu, and he would have not been able to enable his rank up launch to be live. So that's why that Gamma actually matters. Even though like he would have been able to get into his Orcust engine, like he wouldn't be able to get as far into it. Like he wouldn't have had the extra body, which is really, really important. So yeah. So he's going to use Galatea in the draw phase and get the symbol online, which like none of this really matters because at the end of the day, like he's going to be able to use Dingirsu to send Tiger away. So even if he didn't have the rank up to go into True King of All Calamities, I would have been in a very tough position. And I draw into another dead card. He's going to chain the rank up spell to go into True King of All Calamities. So definitely a rough spot for me. And that is pretty rough. Yeah, he does that when I set the Foolish Burial, not when I activate the Nestle, by the way. That's why Nestle didn't resolve. Because like the first action that I had was to set the Foolish Burial. In case you guys are wondering why like Nestle didn't actually like do anything there. But yeah, at this point I'm pretty much out of the game. I really can't do a whole lot because the Orcust engine is already fully online. Especially because like he top decked a Nightmare, which allows him to use this return and get him back into the game. So it's only a matter of time before I scoop. This game's already pretty much over. Yeah. So that is me throwing away the game by not using the Gamma that I definitely could have used. So definitely that's kind of a lesson to learn about how to not like be super greedy, because Lambda is actually fairly small. It's relatively easy to get over. So Gamma, unfortunately, while it's something that you want to typically reserve for later into an opponent's combo line, the problem is that even though it's a stronger disruption, you have to use it early because like it's not something that is like impervious to being thwarted, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're gonna go into game 3 here. Our hand's pretty strong again, so we have basically just Chick Tigers, so nothing too much to say here. We drew Duplicates of Tenki, but obviously we're just gonna pitch that, and we're gonna be looking pretty good. So now that we know that he's on Orcust, we're just gonna go ahead and easily pivot into Dweller. We don't have any way to get like a Zephyrs out of our hand with this specific hand, so and we don't have like a way into Curious because I'm not playing like Barricade in this build. So the play is just to go ahead and make Dweller and hope that that sticks. And we drew Flyback, which is normally a brick, but since we're able to attach a trap to the Redoer, we still have like another disruption that way. So we have Call by the Grave, we have Dweller, and we have a negation or not negation, but a spin in the form of the Redoer. So overall, it's not the end of the world. It's not that bad. We're gonna go ahead and pick up a Jackalope, which probably in this matchup I shouldn't use Redoer standby phase effect because we know it's Orcust. Probably shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and chain Dweller to the Allure just to make sure that we don't get impermed. At this point in the game, I would probably just shotgun Allure, or not shotgun Allure, shotgun Dweller, because the main reason why you would hold it is for impermanence, but impermanence is being played at a much lower capacity than it used to be, and also people are playing stuff like Dark Ruler a lot more now, so it's kind of a gamble, right? Like if you play around Imperm, you lose to Dark Ruler and vice versa. So you just have to take the chance and decide which one's being played more. And in my opinion, Dark Ruler is actually being played more, especially post side against this kind of deck. So we're definitely just shotgun the Dweller. If they have the Imperm, they have it. But chances are they would have used Imperm to stop your combo. That's like another line of thinking. So they would have had to have drawn like a 6th card Imperm specifically in order for that to be kind of justifiable, whereas Dark Ruler could have been in their hand the whole time. So it's a lot more likely that the Dark Ruler would be lingering in their hand as opposed to an Imperm that they would have used to actually disrupt your plays in most cases. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and resolve a couple of Allures. He's going to resolve Popper Up and take 5k. But like Dweller is really what's hindering him out of this game because his hand was very, very good if not for the Dweller. He's going to Recycler for a Jet Synchron, and I believe he's going to try and resolve some dangers here. So he activates Nessie, and I believe I hit it. Yeah, we sniped the Nessie, and we're gonna go ahead and, or he's gonna go ahead and use Tsuchinoko, and I sniped that as well. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like from left to right. That's why that happened. But he wants me to show him my set cards. So yeah, there's nothing he can do at this point. Like all he has in graveyard is Gizmek, which I can pretty easily sort of dispatch of, because it'll be forced out early because I'm just gonna shotgun dweller in my own draw phase. So like he'll have to summon it, and then I have like so much follow up because I haven't even used Zephyrs at all. So like I could just normal summon it and then go ahead and go on with my plays. Like he had Call by the Grave, true. So I could have like stalled out for a little bit, but I would have been so far ahead of him at that point. But he just decides to concede anyway. So yeah, that's actually going to be it for this gameplay. Again, not like the most eventful game, but it was still, fairly decent in comparison to a lot of the other games that I had backed up here. So hopefully it was still a informative enough and enjoyable enough experience. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like as well as any thoughts or feedback in the comment section down below. Feel free to subscribe for more informative and competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you want to, you can follow me on Discord, Twitter, or Twitch. All 3 links in the description as always. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.